benefit to the city. There is some pretty big line items in here for you guys to review, so I don't know what your pleasure is, whether you, as part of our agreement, last year, we allowed it for another year to go with Albert, so that still meets our RFQ. But anyway, we walk through this. Go ahead,
One question.
Councilwoman.
I know I've been approached on, international, groups,
Yes, ma'am.
and, you know, we've been asked about like Intocable and Ayala and stuff like that. What is their, I mean, I know you're asking for 95,000. Do they even meet that?
No. For Intocable, we're
50,000.
about, we're about $80,000 short. I'd have to be asking for about 180,000, which I wouldn't have the heart to do. So, that's a whole different level.
So the money that we're gonna get back, where is that gonna go? Is it gonna go back into the hotel motel?
General
No,
fund.
that goes,
General fund.
What we've done, I don't remember, when we did with alcohol sales, we donated that actually to the school district, for their scholarship, but this, if this pans out, it seems like it's gonna be, I won't say significantly more, maybe $5,000-6,000 more, I don't know, depending on what all we get back, but it may be something to where, you know, if you wanna continue the donation, or you wanna put some of it in the general fund, I haven't explored the.
I wouldn't know how it works for y'all, but whatever that money is, whatever y'all decide to do with it, I would not know where to even
Donate it
start.
to the potholes.
Well, I say, Councilman Hernandez?
Yeah, just real quick,
Yes,
so
sir.
what are the major changes here? Just if you could outline it. You're gonna charge at the door $5.
Yes, sir.
What else is changed?
Staging and production changes, because we're going to the next level as far as entertainment. Their demands are a little bit more, costly, so, more promotion, basically a little bit more promotion. And, jet power is a big factor in this one. There's a little bit of power out there, but it's right around the pavilion, but we need it out there. And I honestly, again, don't know how it works, but I don't think we can have some power provided out there by October. I mean, and plus I'm pretty sure it's gonna cost a lot of money, so I kind of just gave y'all a ballpark figure of what I think it's gonna be required to have some generators out there and some extra lighting, you know,
By
a bit more
power,
security.
by power outlet, what do you mean, like 220 or?
200 amp minimum.
Didn't we spend a lot of money over there with electricity, or that was by the library?
Not where he's talking about, I think if you look at the stage area, there's gonna be power required, we don't have any power way out there. There's no food booths, if you have them out there, there's no power out there. So, yeah, and then at the carnival, same thing, there's no power.
The power on the fence,
Not to my
those
knowledge.
stations, I think we've done it.
Not that you have, you're talking along the fence, if I'm not mistaken, there on, as you're coming in from the where the parking's at, I've seen the
Oh,
power,
yeah.
but I've never
Well,
seen, I haven't seen any on the other side.
Even on Horizon Hill, where that road is,
Horizon West.
Horizon West, I think the Potato Fest, we used to have that booths out there.
Yeah, there's some water and some power poles kind of halfway between the fence and that. Councilman Leon?
What would it cost?
Oh, no, just
Didn't you-
generator.
Wait. To take what we have at Brush Country over there that hasn't been used in years and relocating it.
Let's check this.
Say that again, the what?
He wants to relocate all the electricity that we have
Oh.
downtown and move it over there.
Oh.
But no, we could just get
Yeah.
generators, you're in a
And
minute.
council, just FYI, the city's not, this is all an Albert. We're not providing
So
anything.
can you move all the electricity? Okay, I just wanted
I
to.
could
No,
move
just
some
kidding.
numbers around.
I think the Civic Center
If-
is the logical choice at this point, and,
It really is,
And I
it really
was
is.
just gonna give you a comment for this, food for thought. Okay, you're gonna have a big stage out there.
Yes, ma'am.
I would really love to see local bands invited and utilized there. I know I got a lot of calls, these little bands that are our local bands. But you see right there where we have in the pavilion, how Fiesta does it. You have main stage, and then you have the little stage going on at the same time.
Yes, ma'am.
If we could have our local bands playing under the pavilion, and then we have our center stage bands there.
Okay.
So we don't have these big names playing at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, you
Right,
know?
and
So, I don't know, maybe it's a thought where you have two bands going on, where the music wouldn't make a difference. Or is it too close?
Well, to be honest with you, it's going back to what the RFT was requiring, or the goal here was heads and beds. Yes, I can invite some of the local artists, they'll be a lot cheaper, of course, but to get things started, but as far as the main attraction, that's gotta be where it's at, and unfortunately, and I know you know the business too, they're just pricey, and that's
But
because I
maybe
own
if
the
we
agency.
invite them, you know, at no cost.
No,
maybe.
well, no, I mean,
Where
some
we
of
have
them
some.
probably would, but
Yeah.
yes.
I was just thinking, we have 4 local bands here in
Right.
town, you
Yes.
know. Still, they got followers of themselves that
Yes.
will come see them because they do play out of town.
Yes,
But I know at Fiesta, you have one stage within 20, 40 feet. You got one on the right, one on the left,
mhm.
you know? So, it's just a thought.
Well, and actually, we've done a lot of the preliminary work, but there's still a lot of planning, so yes, all that's taken into consideration. yes.
It's just a thought.
So,
Yes,
so
of course.
council, at this point, what is your pleasure? I'll make a motion in a second. Is this fee gonna be, can we expect it to change any, or is this set in stone? Council needs to know if we're gonna vote on
I
this.
honestly think that we're pretty comfortable with this amount for the future, but being that it's my last year, I don't know what the council has intentions, if they're gonna continue this project.
Well, we'll just focus on this year.
Right, yeah, but I mean, so far, yes, I mean, I don't, you know.
All right, council.
If there's no
any
other questions, I'll make a motion to go ahead and approve.
A second?
There's a motion by Councilwoman Rodriguez, there's a second by Councilwoman Hernandez. Ask for any more questions. Pretty much hit that pretty hard, so if there being none, I'll ask for a vote. All in favor, please say aye. Raise your hand. Davina, were you in?
I made the motion.
Okay, all right. That still doesn't mean you vote for it. Okay, got it. Okay, it is unanimous. Thank you very much. All right, moving on. Thank you. Albert, appreciate it. Looking forward to it. Item B, let's discuss and consider approval of interlocal agreement between the city of Pearsall and Frio County for the use of equipment, labor, material to assist the city in preparing for multiple reconstruction projects. This is an action item. Regarding the streets, this and item C kind of go together.
Can you take it up together? Yeah, I'm not taking it up.
I tell you what, we are because they work kind of together, so, I'm gonna go ahead and ask for a motion for B and C in a second. and then we'll
Motion.
take them. There's a motion by James, there's a second by Sonia for items B and C. All right, Fred, you have the floor.
Yes,
It's
Mayor,
Brenda,
Council.
right?
Brenda second.
In your packet on page 50, you'll see the interlocal agreement between the city and Frio County. What we tried to do initially was try to take the Gilliam interlocal agreement and just use that as a blueprint for this. The county has made some changes, and you'll see that in red. So you see all of the changes that were made. There was no significant changes to what was proposed. Now, the one thing that there is something to change with this, again, with the labor cost. There are some labor costs associated as far as what the county's proposing. And so I think they took this item up yesterday, and I believe it was approved. Anyway, this is the interlocal agreement, and we have the roads that the council had proposed for improvements. Hector can talk on some of the roads if you have any particular questions. I think there's one road that we're looking at doing ourselves. What I mean by that is we'll improve the road, and then we'll hire a company to lay the asphalt. Is that right, Hector?
Yes, paved.
That is, what street is that?
It's Elm Street, it's just one block between, Oak and Elm.
By Pizza Guy?
San Antonio, by the dog
By
store.
Parker's and.
Oh, okay.
By the
By
dog
Margarita
store.
and all that.
And the reason for that, is my understanding, is that the seal coat, I don't believe it's gonna hold up because of the traffic.
At the recommendation of TechStop, they said that the seal coat will not hold up due to the heavy traffic, 18-wheeler traffic that we have going through there on a weekly basis. So he said doing a seal coat would tear up the road within a month or two.
So we're pulling that street out?
No, we're venturing over to maybe paving it.
Oh, paving and not paving.
Paving.
See that.
On item, and again, we've gone over these streets before, on item The next item on Exhibit C, which is page 81, starts on page, excuse me, not 81, 82. You can see the proposed fee schedule, the labor rates. We, you know, on that end, we, if this is the direction which we want to go, and that's what they're proposing, and so, we'll look at that and see. We really don't know what the cost of the first project's gonna be. We haven't gotten that. That's what the work authorization is gonna be, but it'll include, labor, it'll include, we're purchasing the material, Hector?
Yes, if we purchase the material, we'll,
And so they're gonna have equipment cost, that's pretty much their, as far as their schedule and what they wanna do. What we need to do also is when, if this is approved by the council, is go ahead and get with him to see when they can start the first project. So part of that is gonna be some coordination between Public Works and their engineer. And I just wanted to show the council, just real quick, can you pull that slide up, Crystal? That one, this is what, I'm just showing you a quick video of what we're talking about, because some council members have had no idea, we had, even me a while, to figure out what the difference between a mill and overlay was, and what an actual seal coat is. This right here, what you see here, is an actual seal coat. This is what we're gonna see, if this work is done as far as, so, is it working?
Insert down first.
Oh.
I see you, Hector.
It's too green for pure salt.
What? And we gotta do it when it's hot.
You could, I think the county has done it, I don't think they've done it in heat all the time, but it's preferable, I think.
Preferable than winter.
So that's what it would look like, that's what a seal coat would look like at the very end. The difference between that and what your normal, what we call a mill and overlay is that other one, Crystal, that, the mill and
Mill?
overlay, yeah, that one, I don't know if you can open that or not.
Should be.
Fred,
Yes.
on this, labor rate, they have a mechanic on there. So if the machine breaks while they're gonna charge us?
That's my understanding. I think there's, I don't know, again, on that end, we haven't gotten into every detail. I don't know if they anticipate, but they're gonna put that as a placeholder in
And
case they do.
it's my understanding in consultation with the engineer that we're gonna have that price up front, and that's pretty much gonna be fixed. Now, that, you know, if something tragic happens, that may apply, but we're gonna know, we'll have our material costs, we'll have our preparation cost, and then we'll have they're gonna give us a bid on what it's gonna take. The engineer says with us doing the prep work, they're gonna come in and do this pretty quick. Looking over these fees, it could be, wow, it could get pretty high, but we're gonna have that on the front end.
'Cause I mean, it's almost like when you rent equipment from a rental company, whether it breaks down or not, it's not your liability for the poor maintenance that was done on it.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, it's on them.
So, and the good news is, we're not gonna do all 10 rows at one time. We're gonna start small, try one, see how it works, but my understanding is we're going to have a pretty rock solid price before we start.
I mean, it's just unfortunate that a lot of these entities around us, when they want something from the city, we always budge and pretty much work with them, but then we ask things from these entities, and they come out with numbers like this,
Yeah.
or,
And,
Even on the agreement with the county, it states here that they made a change, the city shall include a work schedule or time, constraints for consideration by the county. So they're not even gonna look at us until we give them a schedule.
Right.
So even if, like, say we hire an outside company we tell them we want it done May 1st, then we call them back and say, hey, we're gonna go ahead and do it May 6th, we had something come up, it was a lot of rain. So I don't want y'all coming and do May 1st, or we're gonna do May 6th, and they're gonna do it because they're already in contract with us. If that happens with the county, are they gonna say, no, you're gonna have to bring it back to us, and we're gonna have to approve that date? Because May, June, July, we're gonna get rain. I think, well, we haven't had any rain, but we need it, okay? We're praying for it, and that rain's gonna come. But, you know, stuff happens like that. And when I saw that change in there, I think that's a pretty big change when it comes to streets, when you're about to work on them, because things happen.
Yeah, yeah, and of course, understand, we're gonna do the prep work, so that street's gonna be torn up and ready to roll. Again, starting one street at a time, I think certainly we're gonna see how it's gonna work. And there can be some hypotheticals that come in and maybe make it not attractive, but because the county is not gonna charge us a profit like a third party would, my feeling is we're gonna get this done substantially cheaper, and we're gonna get to take our dollars further than if we were to completely have it hired done.
That's what we would hope.
Say that
Is
again?
their equipment new?
Say that again?
Yeah.
Is their equipment?
They have, Fred, correct me if I'm wrong, but they said they were gonna do like 20 miles a year, what the county's gonna do, and there was a concern by the commissioners, well, if we help the city, will we need to help Dilly, and is that gonna detract from
Well, they're not
our,
really helping us
from our
because we're
meeting our
paying them.
objective? And they said, no, we believe that we can help the city.
But I don't, Mayor, I don't, like, I would've told them, you're not helping us, we're paying you. We're
Well,
paying them, if
well-
they were helping us, they would give us
well, I
a
mean,
machine.
Well, here's the thing, even though they're doing 20 miles should also include Bigfoot, Dilly, and because
Oh,
we,
sure.
even at that, we're still, their precincts are in the city. The county does collect
Yeah.
taxes from within the city, so just because it's the city limits doesn't mean that they're not obligated to serve the people in the city.
Yeah, I mean, they've got approved to do that, and y'all, we've pretty much had this conversation before when we approved that. So again, we don't have the capacity to do that. Our options are to hire a third party again and pay them a profit, or try this and see if it works. I mean, I understand all those are valid points, which we've talked about before, but we've got an opportunity to pave some roads and, get some work done, so the city can see that we're taking some action, and we're gonna do it one road at a time.
Do they
So
still
these
have the
things
same
can happen.
engineer? Do they still have the same engineer at the county?
Yeah.
So we have, yeah, and like I said, those, it's different, again, it's not the same type of quality, just to be clear, that what this mill overlay, this is, Crystal, click that one. This is what it is, and this is the difference when people ask, well, what's the difference between having an ugly street or a pretty street and rough or not rough? This is part of what happens with the mill and overlay. So they mill the road in essence, and then they come in and that's what you see. That's a mill and overlay. Now that's done in heat, that type of work. So that's what you see, and that's what you see as part of the pavement. That's what you talk about, smooth pavement, but it's also more expensive.
Is that stuff tested though?
I'm sorry?
Is it tested?
This stuff that, yeah, it's just, like I said, it's a quality difference, it is. I mean, it's not a, but in the end,
So it should
It's not only quality, but it's pricey.
yeah, if you
Very
look at,
pricey.
if you look at the, I had a little presentation, I think we did back in 2019, it's part of that. Part of what and this is 2018-19 prices, which is nowhere near where we're at. This is, right, that one, Crystal, that one. That's what we were talking about for cost for a chip seal per block. That's gone up, I'm sure, we're looking probably at 10,000, maybe more. Mill and overlay per block is $17,000. Now, I don't know, $25,000 per block.
Per block of the street will
Right.
cost you 17,000,
Right.
what it did then.
Now it's, like I said, we're probably material.
It's 25,000 just for material per block.
So, rehabilitation, when we talk about rehabilitation and reconstruction, we're basically doing the whole thing, and that's the $23,000 mark. I don't know if that's 30,000 now, I don't know.
I'm sure it's way up there.
Well, key to look at in the other things is the chip seal is 20% of the cost of this mill and overlay. So we could do 5 times the roads the chip seal as we can with the overlay. So, you know, looking again at what we did, the chip seal was Gilliam, we did that in 2017. It's, you know, we're keeping the heavy trucks off of it mostly, except those that are grandfathered in there, and that's lasted pretty well. So the most bang for our buck is this chip seal. We could get 5 tons of road.
Yeah, because I think it cost us, what, 100,000?
Say that again?
It cost us 100,000 roughly?
Which
Or
one?
Gideon?
You know, a number of 37,000 sticks in my mind, but I don't know.
28.
But that was, again, that was 5 years ago.
Oh, yeah, it was 20, it was like 30 or something, and it was gonna cost us.
Pre-pandemic.
And we did all, we did most of the prep work on that.
Yeah.